Your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Morning. Hurricane Melissa continues to move away from the Bahamas, and the hurricane warnings have been discontinued, but the all clear has not yet. The FNM, the Golden Isles by-election, and a former death row inmate released after 35 years. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Bahamas, it is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesa Dean will be here filling in for Laverne Gardner. Also this morning, we're talking with Nassau Cruise Port about a couple of events they have coming up, First Fridays and a health and wellness fair. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. Melissa continues to move away from the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands now, and the hurricane warnings have been discontinued for the central and southeast Bahamas. The tropical storm warnings have been discontinued for the Turks and Caicos Islands as well, but the all clear has not yet been given. As of 5 o'clock this morning, the eye of Hurricane Melissa was located near latitude 25.8 degrees north and longitude 73.4 degrees west. That means it's about 135 miles northeast of Coburn Town in San Salvador and 250 miles east-northeast of New Providence. Melissa is moving towards the north-northeast near 21 miles per hour, and the hurricane is expected to continue accelerating northeastward during the next couple of days. On the forecast track, the center of Melissa is expected to pass to the northwest of Bermuda later today and tonight. Maximum sustained winds have increased a bit now to 105 miles per hour with higher gusts. Some slight strengthening is possible today before weakening begins on Friday. Hurricane force winds extend from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 195 miles, mainly to the north and east of the center. So Bermuda really under the gun will be at some point soon. Residents in the central and southeast Bahamas are cautioned that even though the hurricane warning is discontinued, the all clear has not yet been given. Residents are asked to remain indoors until first responders complete assessments of their islands and ensure that it's safe for them to begin moving about. That's expected to begin this morning, daylight. Residents in the central and southeast Bahamas will experience brief periods of showers and thunderstorms associated with the outer bands of Melissa throughout the day today. And these showers and thunderstorms could become violent at times and may also contain tornadoes. Well, Prime Minister Davis speaking in the House of Assembly yesterday as Melissa was still a Category 2 storm, promising that whatever would be needed would be and rising again as the hurricane lashed the islands in the central and southeast Bahamas as a Category 1 hurricane. In other news, F&M leader Michael Pintard announcing that the F&M will contest the Golden Isles by-election on November 24th. The party has ratified Brian Brown, who ran unsuccessfully against Vaughn Miller in the last general election. Miller, who won the seat in 2021 with 50% of the votes, died unexpectedly on September 28th. Nomination day is tomorrow. Pintard declaring outside Parliament yesterday that Brown would be the next Member of Parliament for Golden Isles, saying, quote, Brian has been in the constituency for more than 8 years, and most especially over the last year, he's been listening to the cries of the residents when they talk about the broken promises of this administration. As you may recall, on Saturday, the PLP kicked off its campaign to reclaim Golden Isles. Recently, PLPs were in the constituency donating buildings. Former death row inmate Ricardo Farrington has been released from prison after spending almost 35 years behind bars. Yesterday, Farrington began a new lease on his life. He will remain on probation for the next 5 years and could be sent back to prison for another 2 years if he's convicted of further crimes during this period. Farrington shot and killed Reynard Ferguson in 1990 and 2 years later was sentenced to the mandatory death penalty after a jury found him guilty. In 1996, the Privy Council commuted Farrington's death sentence to life. 10 years later, the Privy Council ruled that the death penalty should only be reserved for murder cases that could be classified as the worst of the worst. The ruling prompted a mass resentencing of murder convicts. Farrington's bid for resentencing was rejected both by the Supreme Court and the Bahamian Court of Appeal because he had received his life sentence from the Privy Council, a superior court. In November 2024, the Privy Council released Farrington on bail on the condition that he wore an ankle bracelet and directed the Supreme Court to re-sentence. Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson handed down the news on October 22nd and ordered Farrington taken back into custody for prison authorities to calculate his sentence. The matter was adjourned yesterday for a status hearing. Grant Thompson said that Farrington had been released from prison and she directed the removal of his ankle bracelet. He was represented by Sonia Timothy Knowles and Corrine McVean, was the prosecutor. A judge deferring her decision on whether a man who has been detained for more than 3 years on a murder charge should be freed on bail. Godfrey Minnis is accused of the March 21st, 2022 fatal shooting of Bertram Moss in Baintown. At a bail hearing yesterday, Minnis' lawyer, Tamika Roberts, argued that her client's constitutional right to trial within a fair and reasonable time had been breached, and that he was now entitled to bail due to the delay. But Director of Public Prosecutions Cordell Frazier countered that the prosecution could begin the trial next month, while alleging that Minnis is a flight risk. According to Frazier, Minnis was when he allegedly gunned down Moss. She says that Minnis cut off his ankle monitor that he wore while previously on bail. Frazier said the evidence against Minnis was cogent and that there was an eyewitness, and Moss named his killer in a dying declaration to a policeman. Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson is expected to announce a decision on November 12th. Overseas, more on Melissa in the region. People across the Northern Caribbean were digging out from the destruction of Hurricane Melissa today as deaths from the catastrophic storm are climbing. The rubble and the rumble from large machinery, whine of chainsaws and chopping of machetes, echoing throughout southeast Jamaica as government workers and residents began clearing roads in a push to reach isolated communities that sustained a direct hit from one of the most powerful Atlantic storms on record. stunned residents wandering about staring at their roofless homes and waterlogged belongings. Authorities say they found at least 4 bodies in southwest Jamaica. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says up to 90% of roofs in the southwest coastal community of Black River were destroyed. More than 25,000 people remained crowded into shelters across the western half of Jamaica, and 77% of the island was without power. Meanwhile, Melissa also unleashed catastrophic flooding in Haiti, where at least 25 people were reported killed and 18 others missing, mostly in the country's southern region. Haiti's Civil Protection Agency said Melissa killed at least 20 people in Petit Goave, 10 children. It also damaged more than 160 homes and destroyed 80 others. Officials warning that 152 disabled people in Haiti's southern region required emergency food assistance. More than 11,600 people remained sheltered in Haiti because of the storm. And in Cuba, people began to clear blocked roads and highways and even enlisted the help of the military, which rescued people trapped in isolated communities and at risk from landslides. No fatalities were reported after the civil defense evacuated more than 735,000 people across eastern Cuba. They are slowly returning home now. In more rural areas outside of Santiago de Cuba, water remained accumulated in vulnerable homes as residents returned from their shelters to save beds, mattresses, chairs, tables, and fans they had elevated from the storm. A televised civil defense meeting chaired by President Miguel Diaz-Canel did not provide an official estimate of the damage. However, officials from the affected provinces reported losses of roofs, power lines, fiber optic telecommunications cables, cut roads, isolated communities, and losses of banana, cassava, and coffee plantations. And the United States is deploying several dozen disaster relief workers, including urban search and rescue teams, to the Caribbean islands affected by Melissa. Disaster assistance response team personnel from Washington and regional hubs in Miami and Costa Rica, as well as the urban search and rescue crews from Los Angeles County, California, and Fairfax County, Virginia, are en route to the region. According to 3 states, they are expected to arrive in the next 24 to 48 hours and join up with local staff in Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas, where they will be based to offer help in neighboring Haiti. This is according to the officials who spoke to reporters on condition of anonymity because the terms were not yet on the ground. Hurricane Melissa left dozens of people dead and widespread destruction across the region. And U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announcing Wednesday that the U.S. military carried out another strike on a boat he said was carrying drugs in the eastern Pacific Ocean, killing all 4 people on board, as the Trump administration pursues its divisive campaign against drug cartels in the waters off South America. Hegseth, who's been traveling in Japan and Malaysia, saying in a social media post that intelligence determined that the craft was, quote, transiting along a known narco-trafficking route and carrying narcotics. He said the strike was conducted in international waters and no U.S. forces were harmed. A video posted by Hegseth shows a boat exploding into flames and smoke. It was the 14th strike since the campaign began in early September, while the death toll has grown to at least 61. The Trump administration has been building up an unusually large force of warships in the region, carrying Marines and aircraft. Their presence has fueled speculation that the moves are aimed at ousting Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, whom the U.S. has accused of narco-terrorism. And the latest in a sustained Russian campaign of massive drone and missile attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure brought power outages and restrictions in all of the country's regions today, with the Ukrainian Prime Minister describing Moscow's tactic as quote, systematic energy terror. The strikes, which were the latest in Russia's almost daily attacks on the Ukrainian power grid as bitter winter temperatures approach, killed at least 2 people and injured 17, including children between the ages of 2 and 16. Russia launching more than 650 drones and more than 50 missiles from various types of missiles in the attack, according to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Ukrainian cities use centralized public infrastructure to run water, sewage, and heating systems, and blackouts stop them from working. Months of attacks have aimed to erode Ukrainian morale as well as disrupt weapons manufacturing and other war-related activity almost 4 years after scale invasion of its neighbor. And Israel's military says that the ceasefire is back on in Gaza after it carried out heavy airstrikes overnight across the Palestinian territory that killed 104 people, including 66 women and children. The strikes, the deadliest since the ceasefire began on October, serious challenge to the tenuous truce to date. The bombardment pointed to Israel's readiness to strike hard and what it says are Hamas violations of the ceasefire deal. Meanwhile, the militant group denies it's responsible and blames Israel for violations. And Sudan's paramilitary forces killing hundreds of people at a hospital, including patients, after they seized the provincial capital of North Darfur over the weekend. That's according to the United Nations. Displaced residents and aid workers who described harrowing details of the atrocities. The 460 patients and their companions were reportedly killed Tuesday at Saudi Hospital by fighters from the Rapid Support Forces in the city of El Fasher. That's according to the Director General of the World Health Organization. As part of their assault on El Fasher, RSF fighters who also went from house to house, beating and shooting at people, including women and children, according to witnesses speaking to the Associated Press, while some were trying to flee to safety. 2 years of fighting for control of Sudan has killed over 40,000 people, a figure rights groups consider a significant undercount, and has created the world's worst humanitarian crisis with over 14 million people displaced. The capture of El Fasher by the powerful Arab-led force raises fears that Africa's third-largest nation may split again, nearly 15 years after oil-rich South Sudan gained independence following years of civil war. In sports, the Government Secondary School Sports Association volleyball season continued this week. In the senior girls division Wednesday, the CC Sweden Cobras took down the Anatol Rogers Timberwolves 2-0, prevailing 25-14 and 25-21. The Cobras had the advantage early and never eased up, sealing the straight sets win. Cobras team captain Janice Bethel thrilled to see her team pull off a comfortable victory against the Timberwolves. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And from Major League Baseball, Game 5 of the World Series, Trey Savage soaking in Dodger Stadium, filled with 52,175 fans about to watch him pitch in the World Series, and fought back to his starting season in front of 327 spectators in the low minor leagues. Just 46 days after run of professional baseball this season for his major league debut, is Savage pitching one of the best games by a rookie in World Series history. He set a Fall Classic rookie record with 12 strikeouts, leading his Toronto Blue Jays to a 6-1 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Blue Jays opened Game 5 with back-to-back homers, moving them one win from their first championship since 1993. And from the NBA guard Terry Rozier and coach Chauncey Billups will not receive their salaries while on leave for their arrests on federal gambling-related charges, according to two people with knowledge on the matter. Press. Rozier had been due to receive the first installment of a $26.6 million annual salary from the Miami Heat later this week. That and future installments will be held pending resolution of his legal case, according to the people speaking to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity. If Rozier is cleared to and allowed to return to the NBA, which placed him on leave hours after his October 23rd arrest, he could receive the held payments in full, according to one of the sources. The Heat will not receive any immediate salary cap relief by the NBA's decision. There are provisions in the NBA's collective bargaining agreement that allow the league, in certain situations, to place salary withheld from a player in an interest-bearing account. And more from the NBA in terms of games. The LA Lakers getting right before the buzzer win of the Minnesota to 115. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. Hurricane warnings for the central and southeast Bahamas have been discontinued, and the tropical storm warning for the Turks and Caicos Islands also discontinued, but the all clear has not been given. We're still expecting some severe weather to the southeastern islands. So, Hurricane Melissa continues to move away from the Bahamas finally, and conditions will gradually improve. But hazardous marine conditions are expected to continue into the weekend. Then we've got a cold front that's going to move into the northern and northwest Bahamas. That's going to bring some drier and more stable conditions across the northern half of the country, Friday through Saturday. Although there is likely to be some rain ahead of the front. And for today, beachgoers and swimmers are urged to stay out of waters due to hazardous rip currents and rough surf along northeast and east coast facing shorelines throughout the country. So for the northern half of the country, the northern Bahamas and the northwest Bahamas, including Grand Bahama and New Providence, look for variably cloudy conditions today through tonight. Only about a 10 to 20% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms. Winds northwesterly at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts through tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms through tonight. Winds westerly at 15 to 20 knots, falling to 10 knots or less tonight. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. But the Department of Meteorology is warning that there could be some activity for the central southeast Bahamas with the outer bands of Melissa. And residents in these areas are cautioned that even though the warnings are discontinued, you're asked to remain indoors until first responders complete assessments of the islands and ensure that it's safe for them to begin moving about. Some of the outer bands and the showers and thunderstorms associated with them could become violent and may contain tornadoes, so keep that in mind if you're in the southeast and central Bahamas today. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Insurance Made Simple.
Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk, 96.9.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Duquesa Dean, filling in for Laverne Gardner today. Duquesa, good to have you with us again. Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. Happy Thursday.
Same to you. Same to you. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to everybody. We're going to be getting the latest on the aftermath of Melissa all morning long, and tell you everything you need to know. As much information as we have, we'll give you. And we are going to be talking with Nassau Cruise Port. They got a couple of events coming up in a few days, so they'll tell us about that. That's all ahead. But let's begin right now with what's in the news. And in the news. All right, so the very latest, Melissa continues to move away from the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, and the warnings for the central and the southeast Bahamas, the hurricane warnings, have been discontinued, and the tropical storm warnings for the Turks and Caicos Islands have been discontinued, but the all clear has not been given. So this is the very latest from the Department of Meteorology. So as of 5 o'clock, the eye of Hurricane Melissa was located near latitude 25.8 degrees north and longitude 73.4 degrees west, or about 135 miles northeast of Coburn Town, San Salvador. That puts it 250 miles east-northeast of New Providence. Melissa is moving towards the north-northeast near 21 miles per hour, and the hurricane is expected to continue accelerating northeastward during the next couple of days. On the forecast track, the center of Melissa is expected to pass to the northwest of Bermuda later today and tonight. Maximum sustained winds have increased now to about 105 miles per hour, and higher gusts are expected. Slight strengthening is possible before weakening begins on Friday. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 60 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 195 miles, mainly to the north and east of the center. So even though it's moving away, residents in the central and southeast Bahamas are cautioned that the all clear has not been given as yet. They're asking for all residents to remain indoors until first responders complete assessments of their islands and ensure that it's safe for them to begin moving about. That is expected to begin this morning. Light is, once it's all light and bright and people can see what's going on. So today, but the all clear, not yet. Residents in the southeast and central Bahamas will actually experience some brief periods of shower and thunderstorm activity associated with the outer bands of Melissa throughout the day today. And these showers and thunderstorms could become violent at times and may contain tornadoes. In any event, that's the final official alert from the Bahamas Department of Meteorology on Melissa. And we'll get other updates on the weather, of course, in the weather reports. But there you have it. Well, so we are very grateful that Melissa came here as a Category 2 and then 1, as a 1, as opposed to a 5, like what Jamaica saw, and a 4, like what Cuba saw. And yeah, and it's even forecast to strengthen, possibly to a 2 as it approaches Bermuda. So we really got the cleaner end of the stick with
Well,
this.
it didn't look like it was. It looked like it was crying.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
And it was huge, a huge
it was.
storm based on images. But okay, so we've got an article here in the NASA Guardian about what people experienced. I know people want to hear about that, and we'll know more today with daylight and with the assessments that are expected to begin this morning. But our Travis Cartwright Cal writing about this under the headline, Melissa lashes Bahamas, central and southern islands hit with strong winds and rain from Category 1 storm. So Hurricane Melissa, which made landfall in Jamaica as a powerful Category 5 storm on Tuesday with sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, finally made landfall in the Bahamas as a Category 1 storm yesterday afternoon. Melissa, with maximum speeds of 90 miles per hour, made landfall in central Long Island sometime around 5 p.m. yesterday. Hurricane-force winds lashed Ragged Island, Long Island, Crooked Island, Acklands, Rum Key, Samana Key, and San Salvador for much of the day Wednesday. So an inaugural resident who stayed behind from the government for residents to leave, Randolph Casper Burrows, said the island, quote, dodged a bullet after Melissa, which was forecasted to move closer to it, changed course a bit. Burrows, who live-streamed a video at the shoreline in Matthewtown, said he wasn't willing to abandon his home. Wow. He said, quote, people ask me why I'm here, noting that most of the authorities on the island left as well. Wow. He said, quote, I'm from here. I'm home. I don't have anywhere else to go. Yikes.
Wow.
Powerful waves slammed into the shoreline during the recording, prompting Burrows to jump back for safety, saying, quote, hopefully this is the worst of it. Wow. And a lot of these were posted on the NASA Guardian's Facebook page, so if you haven't watched it, go there and you'll see a lot of these videos from a number of islands. So officials say nearly 1,500 residents, 1,500 residents from the central and southeastern Bahamas, the southern Bahamas, were evacuated ahead of Melissa. The storm is expected to bring violent winds, heavy rain, and widespread flooding to the islands in its path yesterday. Long Island spent most of Wednesday being battered with fierce winds and thunderstorms as Melissa barreled over the island. Videos from residents showed strong wind. The southern end of the island were bused to the Clarence Town Community Center. Last night, Long Island Administrator Jandalee Archer urged residents to stay indoors. She spoke to The Guardian around 8:20 p.m. as Melissa was moving away from Long Island, saying, quote, right now we are in the tail end of the hurricane. It's as if it's 3 or 4 times gale force winds we're experiencing right now compared to earlier today. Oh, boy. She said 3 shelters were open yesterday, one in Seymour's, which had 13 people, the Clarence Town Community Center, which had 43 people, and Assemblies of God Church, which had 6 people. She said, quote, everybody is very comfortable, and we are riding it out as best we can. Archer said her only concern last night was that a lot of people were driving around in the streets. Wow. Saying, quote, there's a lot of debris, lines down, and there's flooding. Not good. Images from Crooked Island also showed dangerous conditions. The Department of Meteorology said that a private weather station on the island reported sustained winds of 69 miles per hour and a gust of 82 miles per hour. Roughly 50 residents remain behind in Landrail Point in Crooked Island. Images from San Salvador and Exuma showed downed power lines, strong gusts, and light rain. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, the MP for the Exumas in Ragged Island, said last night, quote, Ragged Island and Exuma are faring reasonably well. There are some downed power lines, some wind, and some rain, but I imagine that our southern neighbors are feeling much more of an impact as they are closer to the eye. Talking about islands in the southern Bahamas, yeah. Cooper said, quote, I commend the DRM authority for their excellent work in evacuating to safety all of the Ragged Island residents who wanted to leave. At last report, the storm was moving northeast. Well, we gave you the update today. Okay. Interesting stuff. Of course, a stronger storm than what we got by tomorrow. Wow. So before most of this happened in the House of Assembly yesterday, Prime Minister Davis assuring that the country would rebuild and rise again. Thank goodness it doesn't appear that it would. That I don't know if those words are necessary, but in case they were, I guess he was saying that was going to happen. His comments coming as the storm was still a Category 2 and just moving off of Cuba. But we're very, very, it appears we'll know more today again, but it appears we were very, very lucky.
Exactly. That's exactly how it looks.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, 'cause that Category 5 that landed on Jamaica, just looking at the videos, it is so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Let's get your reaction to all of this, all that we've seen so far. Again, we're going to know a lot more today. We'll know down power lines. That doesn't take a few minutes for that to get back up. It could be a while for some folks being without electricity or whatever it is. Could take some time, but it could have been so much worse, it appears. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air. Okay. Hi, good morning, caller. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
On your guess. Mr. Strong, you said luck, but it's luck, but I call it blessings, okay? Because, St. Paul, Jamaica is totally devastated, and certain other islands, so the Bahamas fared very well. True blessings, okay? Mr. Strong.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me, right?
Yes, we
can. I noticed this morning in another paper, there was an article said, certain residents said the government left them stuck in Jamaica. Now the truth must be told. Mr. Justice, tell me people who were stuck in Jamaica with the wedding, right? You understand me?
Yeah, we're listening.
The government picked up the tab on the hotel and automatically all-inclusive. So the government picked up the tab on the hotel and the meal, okay? And then the truth be told now, the government was warning people in Jamaica that there's a flight leaving a certain time and they never take it, okay? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we already have decided that those people were clownish. We got to say that. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. Thanks a lot for the call. There was no reason. Absolutely. The question was, you've been going to a place where a hurricane was coming?
Not me.
Yeah.
On a Saturday and the storm expected to come on a Monday. And then the challenge, Dwight, is that you have to be prepared for any eventuality. Even though you're talking about you flying out on Sunday, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like the storm could accelerate. No, is a no.
They're very lucky the government did as much as it has done for them. I don't understand. But hey.
I see a lot of commentary about it and people talking about the fact that one of the persons who went on the trip is a well-known advocate and supporter in the community. And because of that, the government should have done this. And they're just not connected.
No. Former cabinet minister. So what? What is that? A hurricane was coming. You knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. And you went to the place where the hurricane was expected to go. Please. But let's not we already talked about that forever yesterday, all day. So we've moved on. Let's focus. Yeah, that's their problem. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? No, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Professor.
Hi.
I'd like to say the blessings, of course, of the Almighty God has covered the Bahamas. My only opine here would be that we know that the southern Bahamas, many of the persons in the southern Bahamas would have come through the effects of Dorian. I want to I look for the help from a psychologist. Obviously, many of those persons may have flashbacks, even though this one was not as intensive as Dorian and long-lasting impacts that they would have felt from Dorian, but the mere fact that they can have flashbacks, I think we as a country need to now focus on mental health, along with the physical health aspects of what our people are going through. So, I believe God has shown us, not just allowed us to see examples of what can happen. My heart goes out to those persons in Jamaica who was negatively impacted. But there are lessons to be learned from this, and I just hoping, and again, I place it at the feet of the government. We have a monumental task of preparing for our people in this country to accept that this place, the Bahamas, is in a hurricane-prone zone, and we must get these shelters. We must get all of the infrastructure necessary to protect ourselves to the best of our ability. So I opine on that this morning. Thanks for taking my call. Continue to listen. God bless.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We got a lot of your text and messages coming in. We'll get it all in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. All right, so let's get to these messages. This person says here, Inagua was out of the cone from 3 days ago. Pre-evacuation decision was very odd. I don't think we can say those things. I mean, things happen. Things can change so quickly, right? You have to take all precautions. And they're still on the northeastern side for a bit of the very bad weather. So just because you're not directly in the cone doesn't mean that you're not going to feel the impacts. So we've learned that. We know this, babies know this more than almost anybody else in the world, right? So we've got to stop talking like that. It's better to be safe than sorry. They go on to say, rebuild and rise again. What is this nonsense? Well, again, that was before the storm hit. And I think he was saying, in case anything happens, we will rebuild and rise again. Yeah. That matches perfectly with the Inagua evacuation. As for Long Island, that was directly in the path. Thank goodness God granted them grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we learn from these lessons, right? You have to offer it to everybody. Hey, all of these items are going to be, right.
What was it that made Long Island different?
If you want to leave, we'll make provisions for you. If you don't, well, that's on you. But don't not offer it to a certain place.
Correct.
And I went over Long Island, so that's crazy. Yeah. But again, a category 1, not a 5.
And then, like the previous caller said, like Long Island went to, was it Joaquin? And that was a horrible hurricane, and the people there should be having panic and all that sort of stuff for having a hurricane sit over you for days. So there should be no.
This section says here, I agree. Thank God it could have been so much worse. At least we still have our lives. Thank the Lord for everything. Indeed. This person says here, DRM's plan for Category 4 is to evacuate islands. What if it were the island of Eleuthera where where thousands more live?
What do they mean?
I don't know what they mean. But
right.
If there's some who might need to desperately leave, you've got a medical condition that if power is off for any length of time, it could be a problem. There should be options for you.
Yeah, everyone isn't going to wait for a government evacuation. Some people who have the resources to do so will, and if they want to leave, will leave. There are people who don't have the resources that may want the option, and they may elect to use the resources provided by the government to help them, get off the island.
Yeah. I don't know if the text is suggesting that is because of the size of the population. Interesting. Okay. But again, anyway, we're going to have national discussions on how to handle all of these things. They don't have sufficient shelters on Long Island. The island is long. And for people, you saw what they had to do. They moved people from the southern tip to Clarencetown, but the eye was near Clarencetown. So we've got to really think about this very carefully. Very carefully. This person says, thank God it appears that we were spared a lot of damage, praying for safety for everyone, especially my family in Long Island. Seeing the images of Jamaica takes me back to the aftermath of Dorian. Yeah.
I think anyone that's been through a hurricane, a bad hurricane, would be triggered by the images coming and the videos coming out of Jamaica. I mean, even if you were not, you would feel some type of way. But those who experienced it full time, they're having PTSD. I say that right?
Yeah.
PTSD. Yeah, post stress. Yeah,
Post-traumatic stress disorder. Yes,
right,
PTSD. Yeah.
right. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So this person says, analyze the cost of evacuation versus the cost of a proper shelter. These knee-jerk reactions will cost us on many fronts. Proper planning is what we need. Well, we cannot disagree on that. The planning is desperately needed. But when you don't have a proper shelter, what do you do? But hopefully we will have many more hurricane seasons before we have to deal with this, and this is why we need the time now to get ourselves prepared.
Correct. And stop being a reactive, because evacuation flights could be reactive even though they're necessary. But I agree, if you have the proper facilities in place that can keep people safe and secure, people will elect that.
Yeah, this texter says here, it is truly a disgrace that no planes were sent to evacuate Long Islanders that wanted to leave. What others need to remember is that you cannot get out of Long Island on any given day unless you purchase tickets months in advance. Your co-host, DeAndre Cartwright, speaks of this every time. So the government really should have made sure that they got out.
But I mean, also there's a demand for airlift from Long Island. So when an assessment of what the true need is, so that more flights can be scheduled on a regular basis.
Yeah. Apparently they sell. It's marketable, right? They can get them all sold, and there's a long waiting list. So there's definitely a need. So this is the same texter asking, what are you to do? Will there be government-aided flights for the bigger islands? Should there be? Just like a previous texter said, we got to figure this out. You could spend the money on a better shelter, or have to keep dealing with this all the time.
Were people evacuated because there are only 12 of them on the island? No.
Well, it sounds like that. It sounds like that's what this texter is suggesting. Yeah, because there are very few, and
that wasn't the reason they were evacuated. They were evacuated because a crazy storm was heading in that area. I don't think the body count was what was the major concern. I think getting people to safety, knowing that resources to help after a storm would be challenging in those areas as well. So yes, wherever evacuate, then if Nassau is under threat and people need to get out of Nassau, then there needs to be a plan to make that happen.
Well, we aren't doing anything. We don't have the plan. We're not evacuating, it seems, and we're not building proper shelters. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Just praying. I mean, that's good. That's important, but
that is not enough.
Oh boy. All right. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Okay.
I would also be surprised, Dwight, if there isn't already plans that have been laid out for circumstances such as this, and they have been shelved. Just like we saw the vice president or second chair talking about the fact that Nassau is like 10 years behind. There are the plans to move it forward, but those plans are like on a shelf. I would not be surprised if there aren't brilliant people in our society who have already mapped out what we can do, and people are just not taking action on. They didn't spend money for this committee to do that and this committee to do that. What are you doing with the information?
At least we're consistent with ignoring plans. Hey. A lot of people asking the same question you're asking. Yes, Duquesa, one would believe that people were evacuated because of the projected path of the storm. That's why Long Islanders not being evacuated is just mind-boggling. Well, again, it seems that we have a lot to be grateful for. We will get a clearer understanding as the day progresses. But we have to not just let this end here, right? have the discussions. What do we do going forward? We know we can't evacuate everybody, so we've got to build better, more accessible shelters or something. Do something. And we shouldn't be here still after Joaquin, right? We shouldn't still be having these types of discussions after Joaquin, after Irma, especially after Dorian. Yet here we are, more than 5, 6, 7 years later, still talking about the same things we did in the mid-2000s and the teens. How? But anyway, let's move on. All right, so this long drawn-out thing was all about, obviously they were going to contest it based on some of the language you're hearing, but they made it official that the FNM is going to contest the by-election in Golden Isles. And the worst-kept secret in the world, that Brian Brown would be the candidate as well. But it was all revealed in some form of fanfare yesterday. Take a listen to this report from our Vonnie Katut.
The Free National Movement will be contesting the by-election in Golden Isles. Let's go. And the next member of parliament for Golden Isles is none other than Brian Brown.
The Free National Movement has announced it will contest the Golden Isles by-election set for November 24th with Brian Brown as its candidate. Standing on the steps of Parliament surrounded by FNM supporters, party leader Michael Pintard says they are in it to win it.
Brian has stepped forward to say he is ready now to serve in the capacity that he's been serving for years as a member of Parliament for Golden Isles. And the PLP now has come with the same old playbook that they have used, where they have been missing 4 years in addressing the concrete issues of the community. They have not provided the help and the resources to the people of Golden Isles, despite the persistent cries. They have not undergirded the member of Parliament they had in Golden Isles. And now, 30 days out from an election, they finally realize that there are some roads that need to be paved. They've come, again, offering to fix houses.
Pintard was referencing the recent donation of building supplies to residents of the area, asserting it won't work. He was asked whether another by-election loss could be a blow to his leadership.
We believe that we will be successful in the upcoming general election, and this is but one step in that direction. And so we'll be still standing after this by-election, and after the general election, the Free National Movement will be the government of the Bahamas, and we should focus on that.
Brown, who was unsuccessful in the 2021 general election, hit back at Progressive Liberal Party candidate Darren Pickstock, who said despite boasting of spending 9 years on the ground, he has not brought about change in Golden Isles.
I assume Mr. Pickstock has not been in Golden Isles, because if he know the boundary in Golden Isles and knock on any doors, they will tell Mr. Brown has kept his office open for the past, even after losing the by-election. I've had the last general election. I've held classes for the students, and anybody could go. If he goes into Golden Isles, they will tell you Mr. Brown is a man of action, a man who get the business done. And he could tell you that. He could tell you that. I understand that he said the other day that he's the only one who could get the work done. Well, by John, his mother didn't only make one MP. Brian will be the MP whenever you see the ballot boxes closed.
The by-election was triggered by the sudden death of Golden Isles MP Vaughn Miller last month. Candidates will officially nominate on Friday. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonnie Katut.
Okay. Let's get your reaction to that, folks. What do you have to say? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Elections and by-elections in the Bahamas. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you all talk. I don't. Let's go to the phone. Let's go. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? We hear you tapping. Okay. Let's take the other one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
I just wanted to use this time. But me in particular, I normally am very critical of the government and its efforts. But I want to take the time out to thank the government for their proactive response in terms of getting the people of Michael, as many as possible, out of the way by just doing something. I'm greatly appreciative of that. Being a resident from Greater Nagua, I'm very appreciative of that. As it relates to the by-election, I believe that Brian Brown is going to take it, Dwight. I believe that Brian Brown is going to take it. I've had the opportunity to live in Golden Isles and experience Brian Brown when he was not interested in being a candidate, but just was serving the community. I've had the opportunity to observe him since being a resident in Golden Isles. I remember Brian Brown built his house across the street from me. And from the time that he came to Coral Heights, where we live, he has been taking care of that community. I can recall years from being in junior high school where during hurricane time, there are many women, single families in Coral Heights in particular, that Brian Brown is the sole gentleman that we can look to see in a yellow raincoat during hurricane time in Golden Isles for years. And this has been from probably Frank Watson time, come through Charlie Maynard. Brian Brown has been a staple in the Golden Isles constituency. And so I wish him well, and I hope that he is successful. I believe that he's the representative that the people of Golden Isles want this time around. I believe Golden Isles is one of the constituencies that has the greatest sense of case of buyer's remorse, and I believe we're going to see that this upcoming by-election.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. On the air.
Yes, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Who's your call?
Duquesa.
How you doing?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, Dwight. I'm doing fine. I could tell you right now, I'm reflecting on those individuals in the Bahamas, as more so even Jamaica, that and the mental distress they may be under when you look around, considering experiencing Dorian. But for me, it goes back to the twin hurricanes, straight up to multiple hurricanes, but Dorian, and the fact that on Grand Bahama, we have still people who are suffering from the impact, both mentally as well as from a home standpoint, haven't been repaired since 2004. Here on Grand Bahama, more so, Dwight, for those individuals in the West Grand Bahama. But just for those individuals keep saying build more shelters, what we need to do is we need to have a purpose-designed Bahamas, purpose-built Bahamas, where you don't have to abandon your home, because at no given time can you actually facilitate 100% of people in hurricane shelters. So if you have homes that is built where we are aware now, we can weather those storms and have a process of checks and balances to deal with that. But for the Golden Isle seat, we only need to remember that $440 million would have been Bimini in the last by-election, and I'll be surprised if $2 million worth of work has been done. Promises was made for a new school and the old school that was being built in for a decade to be opened. It is not open. Yes, you have people there, but it's not open in the fact that you can use it in full intent and purpose. You have the government office that is sitting empty. There's a library there where there's absolutely not even a book in the library. There's government offices that has not been fully open and functioning. The airport was promised to West End, seawall for West Grand Bahama, seawall.
Okay, I mean, I hear you, but I mean, people are going to say, well, Grand Bahama.
No, but
there's a unique set of challenges. It appears.
There's only one leadership. There's only a problem. In fact, for this entire country, we've only had one problem, and that's leadership. Because what happens is we have had leadership who have been cemented in the past and deniers of the future. There's no tool that the Bahamas needs for its economic and national development that doesn't exist and have existed for at least a decade or more. And so the problem is that you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and getting a different result. In fact, Mr. Brave Davis made that argument when he first came into office, saying, I have now had the driver's wheel. And so the things that did not happen even under our previous wash as Progressive Liberal Party will change. And we have not seen that. And so I think what happens now is that Mr. Davis have had the opportunity to prove himself with Warren Miller. It's amazing that today, let me thank his driver, because I think without his driver, he may not have been able to find golden hours.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I'm just simply saying is that we need leadership that's not, how would you say, into selling us success. We need leadership that allows us to feel and become involved in success of our country and build it. We are almost in a state of economic crisis. We're in of health crisis.
Well, saying it is not going to bring it, so you got to show it and do something to cause it to be. And I don't think thanks, C. Allen, I don't think we are doing that enough as the electorate, right? Showing them that we are sick and tired of it all. All right, so this texter says here, I sent you a text 3 days ago explaining that all the international media was saying Long Island was in part of the hurricane. Only our local media was not mentioning. You're not right. Stop this. The entire Central and Southeast Bahamas was mentioned. They were not nobody was singling out any islands for a good reason, because of shifts, right? But it was always potentially possible that all of these islands or any or one of them were going to get something. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but all of the Central and the Southeast Bahamas were likely targets for Melissa. All. So let's not go down that road. The whole machinery of the state with the public treasury and the PLP newly created lucrative oligarchy will descend on Golden Isles. Those who can be bought will be bought. What? Where do you think the source of funds comes from to repair roads? The PLP candidate is bragging about. Don't be fooled. Choose quality representation. Okay. And they're telling you who to vote for, but that's an ad. Okay. Well, so you got to pay for that last part there, Texter. But you remember the question with West End and and Bimini, West Grandma, they call it now. They flew the whole cabinet in to have a meeting.
Yeah,
remember?
I remember.
You think there's going to be a cabinet meeting in Golden Isles?
I doubt it.
Yeah. Why? Why not? They don't deserve that. Where would they have it? Where would they put that? That would be interesting.
Right. And then I think that there's a certain confidence that the current administration has. I mean, they're like, which is, I saw somebody share that it is normal for them to congregate in whatever constituency. So you have supporters and leaders coming from all of the various constituencies into Golden Isles now, all boots on the ground type situation. And so just may not be necessary. Like,
for what?
People see in Nassau, people see the leaders all the time.
To have the cabinet meeting?
Right. People see those cabinet members all the time. Yeah. So going to, Grand Bahama might have been strategic because you don't get to see them as much. So I just don't see it happening.
Interesting. Well, since he is the candidate now, maybe they could have it, thinking of locations, if they were to do it. Maybe, I know in the Coral Harbor shopping center, the roundabout there's an Island Luck, I think, in there. They could maybe have luck. Very interesting. Very. Caller, good morning. What say you? Good morning.
The Prime Minister.
Okay, I don't know. Hey, let's take this one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, DeCressa.
Hi.
Morning. Yeah, Dwight, I kind of agree with the leader of the official opposition in terms of the tactics being used to win an election. But he needs to take it a step further. If you want to circumvent this and you are a new leader, an innovative leader, you would be calling for political live debate, which will address this particular issue of buying election or using the taxpayers' purse to win an election, paving roads, these type of things. You would debate these things. See, when you elected to Parliament, you're not elected to Parliament to give speeches in there, You elected to give debate where common sense and intelligence will prevail to see whether or not your candidates or these candidates can think critically and on their feet. But what are we doing? Having political rallies, electing these people to the, I mean, being a member of parliament, Dwight, is the highest elected office in the land. And we need to have our brightest and to move the country forward. But this is what we see. I mean, the leader of the opposition is a new generation leader. Why isn't the leader calling for political, and I'm not talking about against no leader voices, Dwight. The leaders in this country are the members of parliament of their respective constituencies. Why can't we debate the socio-economic issues that affect the area that you want to represent? Am I asking for something too difficult?
Not at all. It sounds...
But then we're not getting it. We're using the same old foolish tactics of electing clowns from political rallies, cracking jokes. Let's move the country forward. If you're going to move the country forward, we cannot go forward with this type of behavior. And I'm very embarrassed, that we put these people in place and we find out that they can't count, they don't know numbers, they can't speak properly. I mean, they can't think critically. What are we doing in this country? It's just very annoying, right? Look here, I am a nationalist who's for country first. And if we have to get elected voters and put people in place who understand it. But what we do, repeating the same old things, like we did 50, 60 years ago. What's the nonsense? I'm sure you wake up, Dwight, and you prepare yourself for these type of shows to inform the Bahamian people. But all of it will get lost in the rubble, marching all around the place doing nonsense. It's just embarrassing to me.
It is indeed. Totally agree with you. Thank you very much. And we're going to put the challenge out there. Hey, Guardian Radio would be quite willing to host, to facilitate, have the debate with the three candidates, the FNM, the PLP, and the COI. You could do it on my show, any show you want, any time you want. We could do it. We put it out there. If you're ready, and you need to be ready, you should be ready. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight.
What are you going to say?
How many Bahamians are going to sit and listen to said debate? A handful, maybe.
No,
but
more than you think. More than you think.
Okay, the people whose vote they are appealing for, I'm so sorry to say this, prefer the parties, prefer the political.
So they don't care who it is and what they can or cannot say.
They prefer, let's get together, let's have food, let's have drinks, let's have a DJ.
You mean like that? I thought you meant preferred the political parties. Like, I don't care who they put here. I'm a PLP. I don't care who they put there. I'm an FNM.
They prefer it exactly the way it is, which is why the method has been doing the exact same thing.
Successful is an interesting word.
Now, maybe they could try shift it and see. They could do both, because for the people who want this information, people would tune in, right? So maybe they can try both, but it ain't just...
Well, you got to start somewhere. We've got to try to shift this whole mindset that we do here, and this would be a great start. This would be a great start. I know we've had these before, but very rarely with the candidates running in the same constituency. But again, we'll be willing to do this. So let's see. We put the challenge out there. We'll reach out to everybody and see what happens. But let's take another call. You wouldn't watch that, Duquesa? You wouldn't listen to that? You trying to tell?
No. Yes, I would. I would, because I've never been to a political rally in my life. I'm not going out there. It just has no interest to me to be amidst a bunch of people screaming, drinking, eating, carrying. It's not appealed to me. Like an intellectual conversation would have a better appeal to me. But you got to appeal to all, I guess.
Yeah.
To what all are interested in. And some people want that and some people want this. So.
Boy, let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
Man, I just couldn't agree so much with that caller just now. Oh, my God. Everything that gentleman said, why we as Bahamians don't want more. Why we don't want more. It's so much things in this country that is so important, and getting on stage, carrying around these different things, having grill out. My God, I reached the age of 69. I can't do it no more, Mr. Strachan. It ain't making no sense to me. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, we got to be a lot more vocal about what we want, right? They do think, as you said, DeQuesta, there is a perception that that's all that they want, to party, to drink, and have a T-shirt and dance and come and shake up themselves in the street. We have to show them otherwise.
Correct.
All right? But are we doing it? This texter says here, Mr. Pintar didn't believe what he said himself. There is nothing to gain from for the F&M to run in the by-election, and if they lose, it'll be even worse. Let the PLP sink all the way to the general election. Who should run is COI. That is in them. Well, they certainly are their candidate, Brian Roll. This person says here, do you know of Mr. Brown's track record in the area for 8 years? The leader was pressured to run him. I don't know what this means. Okay. Brian Brown and the office was open for more than 4 years. Each month, folks receive groceries. When schools closed, kids have summer camps. Back to school, he gives school supplies. He did more than the former and the outgoing MP. Okay. I'm just tired of both parties at this time. There's a text. This person says, I would certainly listen to that debate. Okay. I take exception to DeQuesta's comment. She would be surprised at the number of us who would be interested in a debate. Okay.
That's not what I said. I would be surprised at the number. I said that more, and let's just be real, and I'm sorry you took offense. More people are going to turn out for the party. More people are going to turn out for the food, the drinks, the T-shirt, than tune in.
I don't know. I don't know.
A lot of people
I don't know if you can say that.
to those events.
I don't know if you can say that, DeQuesta.
They probably can't even vote. The
people at the rallies, I bet half of them can't vote either. They're people from all over the place.
No, I mean the people at the rallies can't vote.
Okay.
I don't mean the people who would want the debates, because I just personally feel that the crowds and the attraction of the crowd to be able to showcase the photos of this ton of people and drum up this, we have this level of support, is not a tactic that they can use from a debate. Like, a debate won't give them that.
Well, that's fine. It's not about them. It's about us. What we learn about the candidates.
No, that's why y'all are confused. It's about them.
Oh, we got to show them what it's really about. Because they are the ones who are confused. It ain't about them. It's about the people, and it's time they start working the way the people want them to work. We have to show them. It's past time for that. One more call, and then we got to get ready for the news. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're live.
Hello.
Hi. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear us? We can hear you. Turn on your radio.
Yes, can you hear me? A debate would be an awesome for the humans to sit back and really hear from these political actors. Because, I'm an avid watcher of debates. Would you be surprised to know how many people watch the debates that happen in the U.S.? Sit back and even though that's not our country, we sit back and listen. That's an awesome suggestion. I would be elated to watch something like those debates, because they bring out information that people can make decisions based on real life and pick the candidate that really can make a difference for them. You have to realize too that the voter diaspora has changed a lot. They're a lot more educated young people, interested in these things.
Okay.
Interested in politics. So that's my idea. always been an advocate for that type
Yeah.
of
Thank you so
activity.
much.
And the Bahamas needs to go into that direction. And then we'll be, like the gentleman said earlier, we'll get the best from the crop that
Thank you very much. Appreciate your call. Appreciate it. All right, as we get ready for the break, this texter says, Dwight, please stop acting brand new. The people are only interested in the party, and the political class knows this. The 6 months before the election is our time to get fed and drink up. Same old formula from the UBP times. Wow. There are tons of people who want that. Not everybody. And we've got to show them. We'll be back after the news. A whole lot more to talk about. Stay with us.
There's no one better than me. You and me. Why would you need more? So there is no for, except that I will be yours.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:26, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So Melissa continues to move away from the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. And as of this morning, the hurricane warnings have been discontinued for the central and southeast Bahamas, and the tropical storm warnings have been discontinued for the Turks and Caicos Islands. But the all clear hasn't been given as yet. The Department of Meteorology warning that all residents in the central and southeast Bahamas to remain indoors until first responders complete assessments of their islands and ensure that it's safe for them to begin moving about. That's expected to begin any minute now, if not already, the assessments. And but there's still going to be some weather that might make things tricky. Residents in the central and southeast Bahamas may experience brief periods of showers and thunderstorms associated with the outer bands of Melissa throughout the day today. These showers could become severe at times and could contain tornadic activity. So keep that in mind today. Melissa is gaining some strength and could become a Category 2 as it nears Bermuda by tomorrow. So with our weather for today, with Melissa moving away from the area, conditions are going to gradually improve, but hazardous marine conditions are likely to continue into the weekend. Then we've got a cold front moving into the northern and northwest Bahamas Friday through Saturday. By late weekend, though, troughing over the central and southeast Bahamas is expected to lift northward, and that's going to enhance shower activity and thunderstorm activity for the northern and northwest Bahamas. So the drier conditions for the northern half of the country will be short-lived. By Sunday, you might see an increase in showers. For today, for the northern half of the country, look for variably cloudy conditions, becoming cloudy tonight. Only about a 10 to 20% chance of showers, though, and isolated. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. 20% chance of widely scattered showers through tonight and platforms. Temperatures across the country, highs around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Friday, Halloween, look for partly to mostly sunny conditions for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy for the central and southeastern islands. Still a 30 to 40% chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms for the central and southeast Bahamas. Only about a 10 to 20% chance for showers and thunderstorms for the northern half of the country. By Saturday, mostly sunny, becoming partly cloudy at night for the northern and northwest Bahamas. Mostly cloudy for the central and southeastern islands. Rain chances still elevated for the central and southeast Bahamas. And then Sunday, first day of November, All Saints Day, partly cloudy to cloudy, a 20 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms across all areas. Comfortable conditions throughout the weekend, though. Highs in the upper 80s and lows in the mid-70s. Weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. And time for traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. We've got paving work going on in a number of areas. Carmichael Road, the milling and paving work continues through Friday. It's going to be mainly between 9:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. That's Carmichael west of Gladstone Road. That area is where you'll see the work. So you're asked to avoid the area if you can or follow the posted traffic signs. Again, that's 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. daily, expected to continue through Friday. Then there's East Street, milling and paving work going on through November 12th, and that is mainly a nightly affair, 7:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. from Wolf Road to Robinson Road, that area being paved and desperately needed. So avoid that area if you can or follow the posted signs. In your real-time traffic right now, we've got a number of hot spots to tell you about. We've got Milo Butler Highway heavy traffic for you from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams to Crown Lanes. It's going to pick up for you once you get north of that area onto New Providence Highway, especially north of Sports Center Road, straight up to the six-legged roundabout. Not looking pretty for you there. Multiple issues at the six-legged roundabout. You've got John F. Kennedy Drive eastbound, heavy traffic, southbound on New Providence Highway, slow-moving heavy traffic as well. And elsewhere, we've got slow-moving traffic on Carmichael westbound to Coral Harbor Road. And we've got pockets along Gladstone Road north of Fire Trail if you're heading northbound. Some slow-moving traffic, especially as you get closer to Munnings Road. And then on Blue Hill Road, if you can avoid Blue Hill Road, you might want to try that. From St. Vincent pretty much straight up to Independence Drive, especially north of Carmichael, you'll see that slow-moving northbound traffic. And it's going to be pretty bad for you on Independence Drive as well. Between the roundabouts at East Street and Blue Hill Road, heavy westbound traffic. East Street busy as well with slow-moving northbound traffic between Soldier and the roundabout, and that's going to extend actually straight up to Robinson Road if you're heading northbound. In eastern New Providence, we've got pockets along Eastern Road and Prince Charles Drive at the major intersections. Bernard Road with the schools, all of that westbound, and especially if you're on Prince Charles, getting into Robinson, slow-moving traffic all the way up to Old Trail. Marathon, heavy traffic for you northbound as well. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert. Traffic alert also brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you're on the road or planning your next move, they've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. In a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
To explore your options, there's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Craving something with bold flavors? Introducing the new Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, only at Wendy's. Enjoy our hot, juicy beef stacked with crispy applewood smoked bacon, savory sauteed portobello mushrooms, and drenched in our rich, melty cheddar cheese sauce, all on a warm, toasted bun. Gotta be craveable, gotta be Wendy's. Available for a limited time only.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. If you acting like you don't know what to do, pick me, shawty, you know who you should choose. Being not sure you will love is mine, let me be the one who will treat you right. Reason one.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean filling in for Laverne Gardner on this Thursday. We're talking about the upcoming by-election. Coming up in a few minutes, though, we'll be talking with Nassau Cruiseport. They got a whole lot of exciting events coming up. We'll get all the details about that in just a few minutes. And DeQuesta, you remember this from Tuesday. We talked about it, the case with the rich guy who paid the $1 million fine. Yeah. So the Director of Public Prosecutions responded to some of the outrage in the papers yesterday. Plus, there's another story in the papers today. So we'll get into all of that a little bit later in business. So a lot to talk about on this Thursday morning. But we're getting more of your text messages about the by-election. Before the break, we were talking about debates and how this one is ripe for a debate. We hear that. DeQuesta doesn't know if that's going to go over well with the politicians or whether there's an appetite for it. Is that what you're saying? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I mean, I think that there is an appetite for it. I feel that the appetite for that is less, though, than the appetite for the parties and the rallies and the rah-rah-rah. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it might be...
But you got to try it to see.
You're right.
You don't know
It's
for
like
sure until...
solid food for babies, right? There might be more of an appetite for something else until you get them into it.
Right.
No? Maybe. Let's hear from you. 323-6232. And they probably are very much like babies in many ways. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, and I meant the politicians. Or maybe the electorate too. Who knows? 300-5720. This person says, caller, we'll get to you in a second. This person says, yeah, DeQuesta, we want debates. This person says the government, whether it's PLP or F&M, don't listen to people. We said no to the number men. They still did it. The same old won't work. We have to save our country. If you don't want to fight for your country, that's your problem. They don't want no debates, both sides. Only the Coalition of Independence wants debates. When they change their leader and make him chairman, I will vote for them. Oh.
What they must do?
Well,
Ooh,
that's a
Jesus.
big thing. Although, anyway, wow, you caught me off guard with the last line there, but But you might be on to something. Anyway, we have the debate. Then what? Because of our system, the candidates still march to the beat of the leader or party. Our system of governance needs fixing. Okay, so that's what you'll ask them in the debate. Do you agree that the system needs fixing, that there needs to be major, major tweaks? And if they are wishy-washy or don't understand, then you need nothing to do with them, right? So that's what we need to do, because we keep putting in people who think the status quo works. Talk to these people and get them, see if they understand that our system is a big part of the problem. Plenty of them don't get it. That's why you need debates. We don't know who we're plenty of them. Until it's too late. Until it's too late.
That's a really valid comment, because, when you get elected and you try to do things that you either commit to or that are outside of the norm, you are knocked down, you are silenced, you are labeled the black sheep. So when you go under any of the parties and you want to be effective in your role, can you really be effective? Can you?
Well, we have to decide and all be on the same page about what their role is, right? And not everybody's on the same page. Some people really do think they are what should be local government officials, and others do see it as more of a as a legislator. But this is the thing, and when it's convenient, they seem to be one or the other, right? But we're not all on the same page, and that's another problem. And we need to find out what they think about that. You'd be shocked to know what they really think. This person says here, debate would be just more pomp and pageantry. We need to see their action plans before they start, and after their term ends, measure them by their KPIs. Okay, action plans. What does that mean? Again, they're legislators. What do you mean by that? And like DeQuest is saying, right? If you may want to do all these things, but that's not where the party is. So what does that mean? Are you a failure or what? Does it mean that? It's not making sense. This person says, oh, this again. All right, so this is still not happening. The Mackey Street lights are still flashing? It's been a whole week.
They are.
Wow.
And it is horrible, especially if you're trying to come out of, is that Byfrom Road or Bar 20, whatever the road is. If you're trying to come out of that corner to get left or right onto Mackey Street, it is chaos.
That's the light that's flashing, not the one at Mackey.
Well, they're all flashing.
Mackey
but that one in particular seems to be more problematic. But
I got to tell you.
The one by Madeira is also flashing.
Oh.
So that one seems to be more problematic. And
Which one?
It is literally an accident waiting to happen.
Byfrom?
Bar 20, yeah. Is that Byfrom across from Wendy's?
Yeah.
That corner.
I got to tell you, when that light's not working, traffic flows better, though. No?
That is true. However, we don't, as the driving public, we're not as courteous as we can be in, letting people out of a corner, or, other people are bullying themselves out of the corner. And so it's just not conducive to a driving population that don't follow rules and aren't courteous.
No. This texture says here, an individual can win a debate and still be worthless. Words as eloquent as they may be can never replace action. It's true. So what does that mean? You should never have them? What does that mean? I'm not getting it. Yeah, it's quite possible. We've seen that before. Plenty great speakers who did very little. And yeah, it's good to know the information.
I think it brings us back to whether they have the authority to do anything. I guess you get a small stipend for your constituency, and you're expected to. Let me just close that. You're expected to do so much with that stipend. The needs of the community are great, and you keep talking about the fact that there are certain things that MPs shouldn't have to do, like you have the Ministry of Works to deal with the roads, but everybody calling on their MP, there's a pothole in the road. Are they really set up for success?
Okay.
In their roles as an MP, nothing more than an MP, are they really set up for success to serve their community?
Well, I think bigger than that. So if you want to vote on certain things, how would you vote? That's what I want to know. how would you vote? If the public tells you we want when pregnant women are murdered, for that to count as 2 murders. If we say that to you as the MP, how would you vote if that were put to a vote in the House? Where do you stand on that? Those type things. We don't know any of the views of these folks. They will do whatever the party tells them. We want to know.
Even if they say, that's the sad part right there, Dwight. Even if they come out in this debate and say, I will vote for it to be two murders, and they go into the vote and they vote against their party, that is a huge problem.
Oh, well, that's so what? You represent us, right? Yeah, and let it be known that you did it for my people, my constituents, and the party didn't agree, and that's just how it is. And whether that will impact your political career, well, we'll decide that, right? Because we could tell you, when you run as independent or whatever you decide to do, we'll support you. But we have to show these people that we're serious, and we're not doing that.
We have to get there. We have to get there as an electorate as well, and not be colorblind and loyal to the colors versus the actual candidate. Because if someone takes that stand in Parliament and their party no longer runs them in that area because they're rogue or they're not getting in line, or they're not following the disguised dictatorship, then they lose out on their political career if the people don't stand behind them.
Yeah, and so we have to stop being clownish ourselves, right? And really stand for something. All right, we're running out of time. We got to take a break, but let's take these calls really quickly. Callers, you got about 30 seconds each, really quickly. Good morning.
Morning, 30 seconds. Good morning, Aquesta. Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Dwight, thank God we ain't lose no life in this hurricane so far, we know, right?
Seems that we've been very, very blessed. Yeah.
Very blessed. You was lucky this morning. I was thinking, blessed. You hit the nail right on the head. Blessed and lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dwight, you know the debates will be good to ask the questions, but like some of y'all saying that they still could do what they want. Thought we didn't know, but we get to find out that we really don't know them. Which party that is? They say they could change the voice of the leader to the chairman. Which party?
No. That's a wish.
A wish, yeah. Which party they talking about?
COI.
Jeez, I don't know how to deal with that.
But
also you were huh?
You're stuttering. Oh boy.
Yeah, I guess that's important.
Well,
I don't understand though, but I thought they were talking about other parties. You know also the case what you talk about with the man with the gun.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that a little bit later. You want to call back for that one?
Yeah, I will. I will.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank God, lives lost. Yeah. And I hear one of your, how you say it, not employee on the radio, his voice. I think he working the Urca now. I am not sure I could remember if he did disagree. I know that's his job. He got to do it himself. But it was you was agreeing with, you agree with plenty of such in the past that this thing with this one to shut the radio down. Like
we'll be talking about that tomorrow on the show with Urca. So tune in. They're going to be with us to talk about the rules and what's changed because we worked together to come up with some new rules.
You still feel the same way you feel in the past? I think I remember you were saying that that's craziness. What
I do think it's foolish that we are not allowed to talk about elections on election day.
You still agree with that. Keep up the good work. Right.
But tune in tomorrow for that. It's going to be very interesting. Really quickly, caller, you're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Mr. Strachan, can I come in?
You're calling again. Okay. Really quick.
Mr. Strachan, you was talking about how MPs work. Now, do you realize Mr. Warren Miller voted against while we were attacked, whilst Michael Pintard, Dwayne Science, and the FNM voted here? You aware of that?
We remember that.
And also Brian Brown, who was Warren Miller Campaign General, he was the one who informed the FNM that Warren Miller was going to know, okay?
Okay. Yeah, we remember. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, well, good to know. I don't know. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to
Duquesa. Yes, hi.
Duquesa. I thought of it, but, Duquesa, I agree with you. Like those people say, people will sit down and let you write anything on it, or mouth will say anything. The former chairman of the Free National Movement, Mr. Carl Bettel, said that your vote is mortgage to the party. And so when the whip is on, you are acted to support the vote in the House. If not, you know what happened to several of those who decided to defy the so-called status quo. Support this particular bill, but when they get in the House, when they realize that their salary is tied to their vote, then they decide that, you know what, principle, don't pay bills.
Right.
I got to live, and so I got to do what is best for me.
Yeah.
How do we change it, Dwight?
Very easy. Very easy. Limit the cabinet to 10 and all those posts to no more than 10 and have them be mainly backbenchers if their party wins the government. And we probably do need to pay them better, but let them be full-time representatives. The majority of them need to be representing the people who voted for them and not the interests of the administration. That's one way to fix it. There's some other bigger systemic issues you can do, but that's one way. If they are mainly not chairmen, not parliamentary secretaries, not cabinet ministers, but your representative, and they can speak freely and vote the way they want, that would go a long way. One more call. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Are you there? Yes. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, the Quessa. I disagree with the callers who are saying that the debate doesn't matter because they're going to say anything when they get in there. It matters to me because when you give me your word as a constituent, when you come back to me and you vote against what we spoke about in those debates, then it tells me that you're not a trustworthy person.
Absolutely.
And I will not give you my vote.
Very important.
That's how I feel like it would
totally
make them
agree with
look
you.
bad to the constituents. So I think it's a good
The person's
thing
a liar.
to happen.
They're a liar. If they're a liar if they they told you they were going to do this and they went in there and did something totally different. They are a liar.
Exactly. So when they come back to you after, would you still vote for them?
Yeah, exactly.
No, you won't. You should not, because they give you their word, went back on their word. So that's where I feel like a debate would open them up to being loyal to the constituents versus being loyal to the party. Because with or without the party, the constituents will still vote for you, even as an independent, if you give them your word and stand by it.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that put you there for you in order for you to get that paycheck to begin with.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Totally agree with you. All right. The question as we go to the break, this texter about the Bar 20 Quarter Python Road. They're saying, Dwight, I was going to say the same thing, but I thought you would call traffic works better when that light is out. I don't know what that means. I don't know how they're going to fix that, but I do get what you're saying about people not being courteous, and you will see people speeding through that, which is unbelievable, right? When the light isn't working. They're LOLing at Pauper, stuttering on that that position of the texter about the COI. Wow. Okay. Interesting stuff. We've got a whole lot more to talk about later in the show. Coming up next, though, we're going to talk with Nassau Cruiseport. They've got a lot of exciting things coming up in the next few days. We're going to find out more about that when we get back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Someday you might be my wife. We're gonna have some kids, cars, a house, a dog. Take you from prepaid to postpaid. Attention to me, girl, here's my number.
Here's the show-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor in paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah. We also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil, shrimp,
clay.
stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta. Tech done the right way. With Custom Computers, call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Get ready to wine, cause it's raining time. Get ready to move, it's all about you. Hey gal, back it up. Get ready to wine, wine, wine. Girl, you nice, and your body sexy. I would give you a house and a car and some of my money. You wind your waist, cause commotion in this place. Coca-Cola bottle shape, turn around, don't hesitate and on me, on me, on me. Wind up in the dance.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean and NASA Cruise Port. There's a couple of exciting events coming up in November. They always have some exciting going on. But here to tell us about it, we're very pleased to welcome back to the show Assistant Events Manager Aisha Roll and Marketing Coordinator Ashley Darville. Hey, great to see you all. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so First Fridays.
First Friday.
This is a popular event.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
It's First Fridays at Nassau Cruise Port. This edition features a few DJs that people, would have seen in past events. Of course, the resident DJs, DJ Kenny and DJ Tank. We also have DJ Blaze as well as DJ Pun and the one and only dynamic duo. We have Selecta Ty and Selecta Treaty. So we anticipate a good turnout as usual next week. This is the Staple Grown Folks Happy Hour. And again, we have transitioned into having it, once a month. So it is even that more anticipated. We encourage everybody to come on out. It is free until 6 p.m., after which it is $10 for entry. Wow. We have a few bars. A new one, I think they would have opened last month. Yeah, for the last happy hour. Okay. We have the Grill Hut now open. So we have 4 bars open to serve you. Hey. 4 times the flavor, 4 times the fun. Bamboo Shack, of course, is always open to serve. And then we have 1 or 2 pop-up vendors that'll be in the space as well. Mm-hmm. But Shore Break is a restaurant and bar. Island Post, and now again, the Grill Hut. So we have the diversity out there is pretty dynamic, and we're encouraging everybody to come out. Please remember the port is open to the public. You are welcome, not just on First Fridays, but if you want to hop on over on a Saturday, play tourists, or even on your lunch break, come on out and check us.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So are you noticing people getting there from 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially those that work in the area, the bankers, the lawyers, they're already parked in the work parking lot, and they're just walking over. Yeah.
Yeah. So how special are the happy hour specials?
pretty special. We have 3 for $15 Sans Beer at the Island. $30 local beer bucket specials, $5 shots, 10% off wine and daiquiris. Then you have the Grill Hut. They have 2 for $1 domestic and draft beer. They also have specials, and then you have the Gallery and Wine Bar. You get buy one get one free highballs, Pierre Marcel, $10 margaritas, and $10 Tito's and lemonade this week. Yeah. That's one coming up.
All right, so for somebody who might not have ever been there before, you mentioned it's the grown folks, the vibe there, but explain to people what they can expect.
You can expect a wide array of talented DJs. The music is, to say the least, it is your end of week unwind. In the beautiful Nassau Cruise Port, as scenic as we are. And open air, if you wish to go inside, the Gallery and Wine Bar is the indoor venue, but it's a different experience at every stop, at every one of our restaurants.
So grown folks, this is music you will know.
Yes, absolutely. Music you will understand.
Oh, boy. All right, and great stuff. And then you mentioned the food, so what can we expect?
I mean, from chicken fat to Angus beef burgers,
from Mexican to Bahamian,
everything.
Anything
Mexican, Bahamian, American,
anything you could imagine is out there.
Okay, so no excuses.
No,
and the weather's getting more comfortable.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. So no more. Oh, it's hot. It's too hot. No, you just come. The wind is blowing, not too much. And like I said, if you decide to go inside, we do have an indoor venue for you. And then we do take reservations for bigger groups. So if you are interested in making a reservation for happy hour and securing your table, please email events@nassaucruiseport.com.
Yeah. And again, if you get it before 6, free entry.
Free entry.
This is
now,
next
when you say it's the grown folks party, you are definitely telling people to leave their kids home. Right?
Absolutely. No kids allowed. No kids allowed and no one under 18. But the demographic itself is me, the youngest you'll see out there, if that. Yeah.
Good stuff. And every first Fridays.
Every first Friday.
But especially this Friday, you got, next week Friday, you got something very
Friday.
special happening. Good stuff. All right, but November, you got something happening every week.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's Friday, but Saturday we're back with Harvest and Farmers Market and Health and Wellness Fair at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruise Port. It is completely free to enter. We're going from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Now we have a lot of things going on that day. We have a early morning workout blast with J Fitness. So you want to come early to catch that. We also have performances on the stage later in the evening by Blowdy and Wendy and the Synergy Band. A kiddie corner set up for the kids. So this is a family event. Bring out the kids. You'll have some bouncing castles and other activities going on. But we also want, to support the farmers that'll be out there and the other artisans. We also have a few companies that have partnered with us last year on a program that we call Port Perks, essentially. So this is something that we offer to all of our staff. It's a few businesses that we've partnered up with and support locally. And that ranges from Battery and Tire, Island Cairo, Health and Wellness. We also have Hilltop Pharmacy that's a part of it, Quality Home Center. And we welcome anyone who is interested in joining. Again, you can email events@nassaucruiseport.com if you wish to be a vendor in the Port Perks program or just at the event on Saturday.
Okay. Is there a cutoff point for that if you are a farmer or a vendor of some sort?
Yes. Tuesday next week would be the last day of accepting anyone.
Yeah. And any farmer, you have any limitations, anything that you don't really want out there?
So the form will ask for certainty, will determine based on the information that we receive.
Okay. And this is the first time you're doing this, or?
So last year we would have had the wellness part of it, but now we're tying in the farmers market part of it. Yeah, make it a little bit more robust.
Yeah.
We also have Doctors Hospital doing the blood bank out there. We're doing pressure checks. We also have Dental House that'll be there. They'll be doing assessments. So it's pretty robust.
Yeah.
We have a wide range of partners. BAIC will be there as well. We have Tourism Development Corporation as well as Arawak Port Development on this as well. So we have our hands full. It's a lot that's going to be going on, and again, it's 11 a.m. until 6 p.m.
Okay.
So come spend a day with us.
Yeah. And there's a cost if you want to be a vendor, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the farmer fee is about $55 and the vendor fee is $200. Now, I want to explain something with the vendor fee. That's if you're not a part of the Port Perks program. The Port Perks program goes year to year. So if you want one of our partners in that, then there's no fee to spend. Pop-up, as all events do, you have a pop-up fee.
Okay. All right. Well, that is very exciting. So you're hoping this will be something annual, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And it
definitely.
is harvest season, so this is perfect.
Absolutely. Perfect timing.
Wonderful stuff. All
Very
right, so
excited.
remind folks again, if they want to be a vendor, what they need to do, and then if they want to attend, we'll get to that later.
Right. So if you want to be a vendor, please email events.com.
And do that by Tuesday.
Please. Expeditiously.
All right. And so I shouldn't bring my pigs and stuff to the port. All right? No. That's not
no.
that.
Don't do that.
Don't do
No.
that.
Dwight, you are,
Or my lamb, my sheep.
Please,
Not for the cruise port.
Let's just keep
farmers
the
market.
vegetables.
Right. Just
Yeah. That's vegetables
So
and
do you
fruit.
have any confirmed farmer vendors as yet, and what sort of produce might be available?
I do not have any names. A few already confirmed, and I'm looking forward to the squash and the pumpkin. Because it's about that time to start making soup. So that's one or two that I know for sure we have. We do have some vegetables coming in. We also have one or two of the vendors that usually participate. They're bringing like their seasonings and just items that are beyond the season. But they usually come out and support.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to
Okay,
having
I
them
have
again.
another question for you too, please.
Mhm.
So is it a bring your kids and check them into the kids area, leave them and go shop, or is it you gotta stay with your kids? Like, tell us a little bit more.
I would say bring someone so you can tap in and tap out. So you can go and shop, but somebody's keeping an eye on the kids.
Yep. We got that, DeQuesta?
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have no kids to bring, but
A good
yeah,
question
I
though.
got
Good
that.
question
Yeah.
because people do sometimes just drop off and then they go to the bar and it's just like, hey, where's your parent? You know, they set them and forget them.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
But we don't want that.
No.
Whereas we are, we do have eyes on the ground. We are trying to, keep watch of everything that's going around. But no, we want the parents or the guardians close.
All right, so if you're a bottler and canner, this would be a good event too to display your stuff,
Yes.
right? So, yeah. One more time, events
At NassauCruisePort.com.
All right. And for those of us who want the wellness checks and to partake in this, what do we need to do?
Show up.
Just show up.
Just show up.
Next week, Saturday.
Next week, Saturday.
11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes.
So all this happening at the cruise port. You can come and party on Friday, and the next day, get your blood pressure checked.
Spend the weekend with
Right,
us.
there you go. There you go. All right. And again, if people want to find out about all the wonderful things happening at the cruise port, what should they do?
So you
Ashley?
can keep up with Nassau Cruise Port updates on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and via our WhatsApp channels. We have our November calendar posted. It's pinned to our social media accounts. If you need a little update on what's going on, just check our social media accounts. We always show you guys what we got going on. Our December calendar as well.
Wow, and you got so many things. You got a whole lot of other things in November, but you don't even talk about them now.
I mean, we can give a little,
just a little taste.
So on the 22nd, we have this is the first time. But this will also be an annual event. Oh, wow. It's a concert, DJ concert essentially that we'll be hosting a few international DJs, a few local ones. We're calling it Rewind. So again, grown folks, nostalgia. And then the following weekend, we have Soulful Sunday Volume 4. So Soulful Sunday is returning, featuring the Essence Band, Donnie and Zavi, the Breakaway Band from Visage. So we're excited for November, and that's going to take us right in Christmas season, and that's stacked. Yeah, December is stacked. So
I have two things. One is, can we also consider at some point something for the gospel lovers? Like maybe, I don't know if you do it through the year, but maybe having some event that targets the gospel community. And then secondly, you know what, when you were talking earlier about spending the weekend with us, one of the things that immediately jumped to my mind, and I said, boy, I would go for something like this, is if there was a weekend stay at the port where you could like check in on a cruise ship, spend a night or spend 2 nights, do all things in the cruise harbor, and leave.
We wish. We wish that was something we could but to your point with the gospel, so usually when we have our Christmas events, Christmas, oh Lord, the Candy Cane Carnival, we do feature a few gospel acts. We would have had Shabbat and a few other churches that feature, and it was a beautiful event. Yeah, it was a really good one. So Christmas is usually geared towards that, and we've done it. This will be our 3rd year now.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'll look out for that.
Yeah.
Thing.
Okay.
And it sounds like you need to hop on a cruise.
Yeah.
And then you can come in.
Dwight, can you sponsor that for me?
Okay, I'll work on it.
4-day situation. It don't have to be like a long thing.
Right.
You know?
Just a 3-day.
Yeah. So you come into the port, enjoy yourself, get back on the cruise, and maybe take another one so you can have another day. Something like that.
Right.
But yeah, the events towards the end of November, Thanksgiving is practically a holiday now.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a great time to be there as well. So
Absolutely.
all month long at Nassau Cruise Port.
Yes.
And can you believe it? October is done.
Yeah.
Wow.
That went fast.
That was very fast. Yeah. All right. So again, first Friday is next week, Friday, November 7th. And then the farmers market the next day to it. Ladies, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Aisha Roll, Ashley Darville with Nassau Cruise Port. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hopefully we'll see you again before the end of the year.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you got a whole lot. Okay. Or we could just do the show at the cruise port. One of them. Ooh, yeah.
Breakfast at the port again.
Hey, that
We can
sounds
do it.
good. We had so much fun the last time.
Right.
But good seeing you.
Thank
All right.
you.
We're going to break for news and be back. A whole lot more to talk about in business coming up. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you did it before, and you forged new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is by all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Looking for the perfect Sunday outing? The National Art Gallery of the Bahamas is now open and free to all Bahamian citizens and residents. Spend the day admiring the evolution of Bahamian art. Soak in the natural beauty of our art park and take a little piece of culture home with you by browsing our gift shop. Whether you're an art lover or just curious, we've got something here for everyone. Bring your family, your partner, or your friends and let the art inspire you this Sunday and beyond. The National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, our home for Bahamian art.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Church Cathedral, Nassau starts here. This November 1st, George Street is coming alive at the cathedral that made Nassau a city. The Christ Church Cathedral Street Festival is back, filled with mouth-watering food, one-of-a-kind art and crafts, and a $10,000 raffle prize. Feel the rhythm of Nassau with live performances, Bahamian music, and fun for the whole family. Nassau starts here. Don't miss it, November 1st.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean on this Thursday, and we've got a lot to talk about this morning. We'll have the latest on Melissa, which is moving away from the area as soon as we get the updated information from the Department of Meteorology. We'll get that to you, and also talking about some other things that are in the news. So we'll get into that as well. Early in the show, of course, DeQuesta, we were talking about the by-election, and the caller is saying we need debate, go about these candidates, and we've been back and forth on that, whether they're effective, whether they serve any purpose. But this, and so it just makes me wonder, how do people choose? Other than the colors they represent, how are they choosing the candidates when they vote? This person says their politicians lie every pre-election, so what accountability does a debate offer? Manifestos are also never abided by, so what do people want with debates? So what are we doing? If you don't believe, you just accept lies, you believe that they're not going to be able to do the things they promise, and they write in these fancy glossy books, and so what voting via faith? What is it?
People vote for party. A lot of people, let me don't say most because I can't quantify that. A lot of people vote for family. You grow up in a particular family, your family has a firm affiliation with a particular color, and you are naturally expected to follow that, and people follow that, and people. Come on, Dwight.
Family. I'm still family. Okay.
We're still there.
I mean, I knew that was a big thing.
Yeah, we're still there.
That's disturbing. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, very interesting. Well, you can continue to send your messages about that. But hey, so on Tuesday's show, we were talking about this story that was in the Tribune about a guy who had been found on his yacht, a millionaire with 14 guns and all kinds, 1,000, I think it was, rounds of ammunition. And all the excuses the lawyers were making about why, let's just give him a fine because he's very sick and he's got things to do. He's very busy. He can get on his yacht and sail away. So there was strong reaction from you, from me, from our listeners, our callers and texters, people not happy about that. So that was Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, they had an article This is interesting. DPP defends lack of jail time for rich businessmen. So this is the article. Director of Public Prosecutions, Cordell Frazier, yesterday pushed back against criticism over the sentence given to a wealthy businessman convicted of firearms offenses, insisting that cases are judged on their individual merits, not a person's wealth or nationality. Okay. The story goes on. The comments coming amid public backlash over the case of 62-year-old American James Finkel, the former head of Finkel Steel, one of the world's largest steel manufacturers, who escaped a mandatory prison sentence after bringing 14 guns and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition into the Bahamas aboard his yacht in Bimini last week. In 2021, the Court of Appeal ruled that magistrates have no authority to impose non-custodial sentences for firearm-related offenses. It's supposed to be mandatory. Asked about this, Frazier said, quote, "Sentencing is an art. There is no one fixed rule for every case. The defendant in the case being referenced had a number of medical issues which made a custodial sentence difficult and not prudent. It's never about Bahamian or non-Bahamian, or rich or poor. Each case has to be determined on its own, and the decision made was the best outcome."
For who?
She noted that mandatory minimum sentences have been abolished and said fines have also been imposed on Bahamians in similar circumstances when warranted. Now, although some senior lawyers described Finkel's sentencing as highly irregular, Frazier said magistrates have the discretion to impose non-custodial sentences when a case warrants it. She cited a 2022 Court of Appeal ruling in which a 53-year-old diabetic man's 12-month prison sentence for firearm possession was quashed. In that case, Ronald Ralph Moorhead Jr. versus Commissioner of Police, the Court of Appeal overturned a 1-year prison sentence for an American diabetic convicted of firearm possession after finding that the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services could not manage his medical condition.
Wait.
Boy.
Are there any Bahamians that can be referenced that got this same consideration?
Boy, anyway, as opposed to like trying to fix it so they can manage his medical condition. Interesting. The courts substituted a sentence of 3 days imprisonment that while firearm offenses normally require jail time, Moorhead's case was exceptional. However, the judges stressed that the decision was unique to its facts and should not be viewed as a general precedent for other gun offenders, reaffirming that custodial sentences remain the norm for such crimes. All right, so the same thing you're asking.
The whole thing confused me. It confuses me. The whole thing confuses me. Because if it's mandatory, it's mandatory. Or is it subjective? When is it subjective? Like, what is the criteria? It can't just be subject to the person who's doing the sentence's whims. There has to be a guideline that should be published. These certain consideration, in these certain circumstances, leeway may be given, and they should be properly documented. If they are, they need to share it with us, and that Bahamians can also benefit, because we have sick Bahamians, I'm sure, who in jail.
Well, but again, the Director of Public Prosecution says it doesn't matter if you're Bahamian or if you're wealthy. Well, where are the examples, right? Where are the examples? I'm sure there are, but we haven't been presented with any of the examples yet. Interesting stuff there. The phone lines are lit up. There is actually another story in the paper today about Finkel. So let's go to the phone lines and we'll get to Finkel in a bit. Let's take this call, and you can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Okay, callers, let's hear from you before we get to the other article. What say you on this? Good morning.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Okay, great. So what would happen if he can pay the fine?
Well, I don't know, but I think that only came up because they knew that he could, right?
Right.
This was a plea deal, as far as I remember, right? He is a wealthy man. He came on his yacht. The guns were on his yacht, so they knew that he could, and this was the offer. This is what we're going to do. Fine, pay this and get out of here.
But I understood that the guns were registered in.
Yeah, they're his guns. Yeah.
He didn't deny it.
No, he didn't. Those are his guns.
So, I mean, if you got to be him and his guns, and then not register him, and you charge $1 million, can he pay that?
Well, you can register shotguns, right, and rifles, but not handguns. Some of these were handguns, so it's a little different situation.
Lots and lots of ammunition.
You probably allow the guy handguns.
Not in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
Wherever we're talking about the Bahamas, we don't care where he's from and what they do where he's from. In the Bahamas, you can't. He had these guns. You're not supposed to. Right? So if you were walking around with 14 registered shotguns and you're a Bahamian, it is not an issue. But that's not what we're talking about here. He didn't declare. He's supposed to declare these things. He's supposed to say these things. He didn't do it. He broke the law. Yeah,
the only thing I could say, the government needs to tell law, ain't going to get to 14 or 15 and charge $1 billion.
Well, again, if you break the law, if you don't declare, right? Yeah. Although they did say it was with intent to supply, if I remember correctly from the story. That ammunition, why do you have 1,000? Obviously, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
And Dwight, the underlying deception, because to say you have 2 and they find all of them.
Right, he lied. That was another part of it. He did say he only had so many. I think he said he only had 4, but it was actually 8 more, something like that. So 12 or 14 guns that he had, but he did not. He was not truthful. So there was the deception as well. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning again, Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
Yeah, so, Dwight. So understand the DPP rationale. Had he been broke and busted, then I guess they would have let him go? You think they would have let him go? But because he paid, did the money go to charity or did it go into the consolidated fund?
You know,
where did this money go?
You know, it didn't go to charity. What charity? It didn't go to charity. If he was broken, busted, he'd be in jail. That's what you mean.
Yeah, on sick day, like the average Bahamian, but so I just the question, just a minute on this, when you see I've been calling for political live debate. I'm not saying that you could discontinue your rallies, If you like rallies where you people standing on stage and people listening to them while getting drunk, that's fine. But there comes a time when common sense and intelligence needs to prevail. It should be prerequisite for us choosing a candidate or choosing a member of parliament. Why should you find out that people don't possess these qualities after we would have voted for them? We had a member of parliament who couldn't count. They didn't know that a million had 6 zeros, and so they couldn't really get it out. You think that's an embarrassment? Just that member of parliament only? We live in a global society now where our brightest and fittest should be in that parliament. Look at the nonsense that go on in that parliament because we don't train these people. We need to find out if you're applying for a job, you're hiring someone, you want them to just stand up on a podium cracking jokes to be a future employee of your business, or you want to test them to see whether they possess the aptitude, meaning they are fit and ready to serve. What is it that we want?
Yeah.
But we have a new generation leader in Mr. Pintard. And you can't just complain that the PLP is stacking the deck by using the public purse to win an election. You just stand there and sit there. Call for political live debates and so you can level the playing field. But would you vote for an idiot who has a ton of money and can't think and can't speak properly, can't think critically? This is what we need. We need
It
move
certainly
the
happened many times before. But thank you, Cleaver. We get it. Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We hope they're listening. Like the question, though, I suspect it's going to take some time. But the media has always been open. There have been debates, not the way we'd like them to be, but we are hoping that we are getting closer to where this can be one of the options when it comes to campaigning. Indeed. All right, so back to the story. Callers, we'll get back to you in a bit. So there's more on Mr. Finkel in today's Tribune again. Rich business similar charges in Chicago. What now? Okay. The wealthy American businessman who avoided a prison sentence in the Bahamas for firearm offenses this week had faced similar charges in Chicago more than a decade ago after he allegedly owning a number of guns. What's wrong with this guy? 62-year-old James Finkel, former head of U.S.-based Finkel Steel, was fined $1.4 million in the magistrate's court on Monday after admitting to bringing 14 guns and more ammunition. Got to find the rest of the story. Yep. And more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition into the Bahamas aboard his yacht in Bimini last week. The sentencing sparked outrage among Bahamians who note that firearm offenses rarely result in just fines, one senior lawyer calling the non-custodial sentence, quote, highly irregular. Well, police say Finkel initially told officers he only had 2 guns locked in his safe. Oh, 2. However, when officers searched the yacht, they discovered 8 weapons and ammunition on board, along with a second cache of firearms hidden in a closet. 2, he said. The incident is not the first time Finkel faced serious firearm allegations. In 2010, Chicago police seized 36 guns, including 4 assault rifles from his 14,000-square-foot River North mansion after receiving an assault rifle in his basement range. Okay. He was arrested that May and charged with 36 counts of possessing unregistered firearms and 4 counts related to assault ammunition. Police at the time refused to release details of the arrest, and records did not indicate whether the weapon allegedly fired was found. Despite investigators discovering an arsenal of vintage handguns, shotguns, and semi-automatic rifles, Finkel told police none of the weapons belonged to him, a claim later disproved when police confirmed he was the registered owner. According to a January 2013 Chicago Sun-Times report, Finkel's case, quote, remained in limbo nearly 3 years after the raid, with no charges formally pursued and city officials unable to explain why. The court file had reportedly disappeared. Wait now, was this in Nassau or in Chicago? Anyway, the court file had reportedly disappeared after a judge granted a continuance in 2010, and the matter was not revived until the newspaper's reporting prompted renewed investigations. Ah, boy. Then Mayor Rahm Emanuel ordered a review of how the case was handled. The Sun-Times later reported that Finkel had Police Lieutenant Daniel J. Shields, this is getting very deep, who worked at the same police station where Finkel was processed. Oh, see, we're not alone. We're not alone in Nassau. We've got these things happen all over the place, all over. Well, Chicago would be the place, though. It would be Chicago. Shields' brother, Michael Shields, went on to lead Chicago's powerful police union. What? The paper also revealed that Finkel co-owned a firm called Jetty Security with Shields and another officer. Okay.
Laced with corruption.
This is wild. Oh, man. In May 2013, Cook County Judge Clarence L. Birch issued a warrant for Finkel's arrest after he failed to appear in court. A City Hall lawyer told the court that officials had tried to serve him, but the judge concluded Finkel appeared to be avoiding notification. Oh, he's just an upstanding citizen. By March that year, the Sun-Times reported that Finkel had established another security company, Shadow 300 LLC, operating out of his home and employing current and retired Chicago police officers. Oh, okay, so he's getting ready for an army. These are the people sailing through our country, folks, lying to officials about what they have on board their vessels
I wonder if we did a background search before we sentenced him.
Why would we do that? He has millions of
I'm
dollars.
just saying,
He has
all
a
this
yacht.
information here.
A yacht and millions of dollars. What more background search do you need? He passes the test. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, I asked on Tuesday, is he banned for life from entering our country? Because he should be. He should be. And he's very lucky we didn't seize his yacht. Because I think a case could be made. Caller, what say you? Good morning. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning. All right, call us back. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Good morning, caller, you're live.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning to the aggressor.
Hi, good morning.
Aggressor, full
Good
time.
morning.
She wants a lot of time. I thought, but Dwight, Mr. Strong.
Hey.
Thanks for highlighting, the scenario in the States. It's everywhere, but you have to be a person who's read or follow these things to know that nefarious activity takes place. I saw one thing, it's going to start happening on the moon and all, but I'm not too concerned with the Finkel. I mean, I'm concerned about what happened here in Nassau, but I'm not concerned about Mr. Finkel because he seems to be a non-violent offender, and so, that's how the states operate. Of course, we know money talks and ass walks, right? But here, let me give you an example here. Like, how long you heard me on the airwaves saying that cases of vast amount of contrabands have been confiscated, and the cases just went into oblivion where the people paid a fine. Some of the big shots from Colombia and wherever, they didn't even go to jail, and so they just went. But we have to do investigative journalism to expose this. So let me give you a perfect example that I experienced. Somebody I knew, they related to me, right? They went to court the other day for some contraband. I don't know. What's much? I don't know how much it was. It says value, but just about almost $10,000 or $5,000 or something. There's value to stuff. So what happened was he had some previous case and et cetera. But he the judge did very harsh. But then what happened is he was given a $10,000 fine. I knew because I had to lend him some money. Right? So what I'm saying is, it seems to me as this is what I don't know what's going on, but the government is after some money. It's obvious because you see the road traffic blocks here and there, but nothing is going to change because that's just the way it is. And so, the justice system, they want us. That's why I said it's the injustice system. It's the criminal injustice system because this is what is taking place, whereby it's right before your eyes, but they know that people wouldn't agitate, so it will continue to be this way. And I've seen cases. I remember cases sometime. I don't know if the punch is in existence then, but I remember a case of Pet in the Punch in which somebody was caught with 2 handguns, a 9mm and something else, and they was given the fine was ridiculous. It was low. It was like $30-something $100, and I couldn't believe it. And they never went to court. But if you go and check in chronology, you will find out that a lot of people have been caught with guns, and some didn't maybe even reach the court, and some paid fines, and they went to court and knew who they are. But I guess discretion is used. But like they say, the judge, the magistrate judge doesn't have the power to do non-custodial, right? So I mean, we're fighting a losing battle. But as it relates to Mr. Finkel, the number of rounds don't bother me because I think if I was rich and I had a yacht, I would have been. You see, he's well connected, and so he would never be. He would never be rejected. This is just the way it is. He was comfortable with that over and over. But to suggest his intention, I can't say he was intending. The guy has money. He's a firearm enthusiast. I go on YouTube and look at them. Does that make me an evil person? So you have to look at it as what I'm saying, Mr. Strawn. Back in the times of change in which they want to take away your rights, even the rights to bear arms. This is why the United States have their Constitution.
So, will we make that excuse for cocaine as well?
That's in America. But
we're like, I have a bunch of cocaine on my yacht. No, I'm not going to sell it. It's just, I'm an enthusiast. The what?
The Chinese on our Waki the other day, you forget it. Man, let's do some chronology here, man. That's what they're saying is people just remember things.
I'm just saying we can't.
Some other people who could remember something, yeah.
Yeah, the point is that, we don't know the intention, but you got a lot. And it's quite possible as we continue to, for some reason, grapple with the trying to figure out how these guns are getting in the country. Many people have said this before, that it's quite possibly on these pleasure pleasure vessels, right? These cruises, the yachts that come in. It's quite possible. And you have to consider that possibility too, right? Yeah, he doesn't need the money, but he might feel that, yeah, you want guns? I'll sell you some guns. It's quite possible. So I don't know if we can take it so casually. He's never shot anybody before, so that doesn't mean he doesn't mean us harm. No, not at all. Does not mean that. Let's take another call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Dugressa.
Good morning.
Yeah, how the grand Dugressa? How you getting on? You running around the house pulling on everything yet?
Say what? Say that again.
How the grand? How is your new grand? You walking yet? You running around the house pulling on everything yet? And Grammy house?
Man, no, man. He only 3 months.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Soon.
Just my boy, man. Come on, man. Give me a break, man. That 1.4 million he make that off selling guns. He only give them the money back. That's all, man. Come on, man. What do you mean? You rich either. Drug dealers is big multi-millionaires and billionaires, and they still trying to ship tons of cocaine into the United States. They didn't make their money. They didn't millionaires. Why they don't stop? They still going after more money. We have millionaires in this country, right? Yeah, I think we've got millions and they still want the post office going in the plaza.
It's never enough.
You never have enough money.
Yeah.
No, you never have enough money, man. So don't try that, man. We get that same money back. That's the same money make of selling guns. So this is a biased situation against Americans or foreigners and behemoths. That's just how I'd go. So have a nice day.
Okay, thanks a lot. Cressa, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that actually when you were reading the story about his background, my mind kind of went to the same place, because if you are a deceptive person, like at his core, based on the things that I heard you say, he is he is questionable. So and say with confidence that his intent was that they were just his own personal pleasure, whatever. Who knows what they were for? They could have been for sale. They could have been for giveaway. He putting his own little army together under security. So, it's just very great.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very great.
Mm-hmm. Let's take another call. We've got a lot of your messages, text messages. We'll get to those in a bit, too. But, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to you, Dwight, and to Quessa again. Alan Johnson. Dwight,
Mm-hmm.
can I reintroduce an idea that was proffered 2 decades ago?
Okay.
Sentencing reform guidelines that's strict, that can be modified, that gives a point system or something of that sort. And even more so now that we live in a data-intensive age with access to information, we could just assign a point system and build a prison system, the secondary build a prison system to actually move toward rehabilitation beyond the name. The biggest problem we have, though, Dwight, you talk about the court system, right? Do you know what would happen if you were able to just sit in front of a court system right now, access to and use that thing what you guys call AI, and ask questions that it talk back to you and tells you, and you ask all of these variables of the cases and decisions that's made, and cases and charges that you've never even heard about? You might be surprised that this is a cultural, or you say an existence. And this is why on January 1st, of 2026, we begin the second 25 years of the 21st century. We, as a country, must move to an information data-based decision-making processes.
Okay.
We are a small country, and that is what's going to give us the competitive edge to be competitive in a rapidly changing world. This analog mindset where we have leadership that is cemented in the past and deniers of the future is no longer going to help us.
Okay,
and so we need to become more informed ourselves, because we can't ask for what you don't understand. And the more we understand about it, the more we can begin to judge people as to whether they are qualified to lead us.
Okay. All right. We've got a lot of calls coming in, a lot of text messages. Thanks a lot. Let's take this really quickly. Got to get to these. A whole lot of text messages. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, baby Seth. On the issue with Finkel and the gun issue, I don't know the man, but we have to look at the fact that man was on 100 and something foot yard, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was like more than 2 of those big school bus length. You know what I mean? And he would have had his crew and everybody. When you look at it, him being a gun enthusiast, he got plenty of money, 10 or 12 guns on his yacht. If you take one handgun, stick it in your waist, and have an assault gun, in your possession, you just one person. And if you have staff and everybody, crew and everybody, see, when you look at the movie Clear and Present Danger, and you learn from that where the congressman them yacht was taken over in the South Caribbean Sea. It was just a movie, but in that concept, and those people, people like that don't mean they had no intentions of talking about selling no gun, because those couple of guns can't do nothing for that man. Not to condone our theories. But, we have to, they look at it and he should have disclosed, because if he had disclosed every gun on that yacht, it wouldn't have been an issue in law. What you say?
No, I'm not on that yacht with you. No, not gonna happen. This is exactly how it gets. This is exactly how this. No, not doing it.
Dwight,
Not doing it.
What type of life he has to be leading to have a yacht full of ammunition and have enough ammunition for a little personal, little army? Like, why does it? Who are you? Like, what are you doing? Why do you need that much protection?
But yeah,
like that's just.
But we're making excuses, right? Yeah, sure. Okay. Final call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well. Turn on your radio for us and turn on everything.
That's all right. We need him. We don't need to ban him. We need him to create more infractions so we could keep on fining him.
Oh,
because we need the money. We need to fine him $2 million for every infraction he makes.
Yeah, but where that money going?
So don't ban Strachan. Fine him. Every time he create an infraction, fine him $2.5 million.
No. Okay. All right. Ah, boy, playing games. I'm not taking this seriously at all. Okay, this texter here, lots of text messages we said. It's quite simple. Bahamians don't... No, this is about voting. Okay. Realistically, that wealthy gentleman was probably protecting himself from pirates and kidnappers. Quite a few of you saying this type of stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of person is he to need that level of security? Anyway, continue on.
He's on a big, giant yacht, and I guess everybody wants what he's... 3-day, what's this? Okay, I'm not sure what that's about. Didn't know Pam Bondi was working for the Bahamas government. Okay, they're comparing our director of public prosecutions. What, for the excuses? That's what you're saying? Okay. This person says it's very obvious that there was a deal between... Oh, boy. Nope. I don't know if anything's obvious. No. But anyway. She aired in her statement... This is back to the Director of Public Prosecutions. She aired in her statement regarding Moorhead, as well as established the veracity of magistrates being duty-bound to give a custodial sentence, as Moorhead was detained and had to go to... the appellate court. Yeah, I don't think those examples helped. Anyway, the only thing exceptional about this situation was his bank account. Okay. That's all. This text says that we have people with special needs in prison charged with minor crimes, and no special provisions have been made for them. Wow. The Bahamian people believe that wealth is not the issue.
No, I'm saying that my biggest issue is when Bahamians go abroad and break the law, whatever the established law of the land is, particularly in the United States. They have to get the penalty of the law. We have quite a number of high-ranking officials that are currently, 5 or 6 of them, I don't know, in New York or wherever they are, up on charges, and though they broke the law, so there are the consequences. Why do we keep giving a blight to the United States citizens when they break the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas?
Yeah.
Why?
This person says, it's very bizarre that diabetes would be the excuse as to why you shouldn't go to jail. That's wow. Anyway, and again, as we know, there are probably quite a few diabetics, but Bahamians at Fox Hill Prison. This person says the Bahamian people believe that wealth is not the issue, and we are just the conch. Just like one rich man can be found. What? Oh boy, I don't like the tone of this. Anyway, I think they're saying we're all humans. no matter how wealthy you are. Okay. James Miller's matter in 93 or 94 set the precedent in Court 1. Okay, thank you. I thought judges were bound to follow our laws because there are statutes, but this judge says it's up to them. I mean, there is discretion, definitely. There is discretion. But did this go too far? They continue. Therefore, judges could be compromised and rule based on bias. And based on the judgment we see on a day-to-day basis, these judges don't... Okay, it's a lot. It's a lot what you're saying. You're trying to get people in trouble. But you're saying if you do allow discretion, then you could be compromised. Interesting. This person says, the bottom line, he made a false customs declaration. What's the charge for that? So I can tell customs I spent $3,000 versus $3,000.
And that's exactly the point, that they don't understand the message that they send to the Bahamian public who they want to obey the law. Mm-hmm. You're sending messages.
Yeah. All right, this person says here, people cruising through the Bahamas are allowed to have licensed firearms, providing they declare the weapon at the first port of entry. The weapons are to remain secured on the vessel. The person involved in this matter being discussed seems to have some kind of mental instability and should not be allowed to possess weapons, whether here or in the U.S. It's got a lot of issues, definitely. This person says here, under Customs Regulation 92, he can only bring with his pleasure vessel 3 firearms, inclusive of handguns, rifles, and shotguns, where the caliber is not to exceed 380 and 250 rounds of... and people sending me the information, lots of that. So just have money and we can carry around guns and ammunition? Well, it depends. It depends on who you are and where you're from, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know if that's as simple as that. This person says here... This man's got to be an arms dealer. How do you think the guns get here? Well, I don't know. There's another interesting article apparently in the Tribune. Got to look at that. Kudos and congratulations to Finkel for hiring a great lawyer who got Finkel off with just a fine, and also congratulations to the defense lawyer for... no... oh boy. Anyway, everybody did a good job. This person's saying very sarcastically. Good Lord. This is disturbing. Wow. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Hey sis, are you ready to reset, refocus, and rise? It's time for the Unstoppable Weekend, happening November 8th and 9th in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Join us for 2 unforgettable days of empowerment. Saturday's luncheon brings inspiration, connection, and sisterhood. Sunday, Stuck to Unstoppable workshop, focusing on shifting mindsets, breaking limiting beliefs, and equipping you with the tool. Register today at www.heysisempowerment.com. Your unstoppable journey starts now.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for
for future generations.
Fall into savings with BWF Red Hot Summer Autumn Deals. From falling prices, rising savings up to 50% off, in-store savings Friday, October 31st, and 10 sales Saturday, November 1st, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Save big with unbelievable deals this fall. Shop BWF and catch these awesome savings before they blow away. Come shop this season with BWF, where we are more than just our name. Up to 50% off Friday, October 31st, and 10 sales Saturday, November 1st, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Savings include supplies, houseware supplies, grills and griddles, hand and power tools, automotive supplies and accessories, hardware supplies, lawn and garden supplies, floral decors, decorations, junkanoo supplies, and much more. Shop now and save with BWF new store hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. BWF, we are more than just our name. Number 13 Wilton Street. Check us out on Facebook and like and share our page to keep up to date with exciting savings. BWF, we ship to the Family Islands. Telephone 394-0004 or 6.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. The Automatic Exchange of Financial Account Information Bill, according to Prime Minister Philip Davis, will ensure that investors choosing the Bahamas are choosing a jurisdiction that meets the highest global standards. The Prime Minister, speaking during debate on the bill yesterday in the House, he said that when investors choose the Bahamas, they are, quote, choosing a nation with no blacklist to worry about, a strong and respected global standing, and an economy that is growing year after year. They are choosing a jurisdiction that meets the highest standards and a country with no lingering questions and no clouds over its reputation, just a bright future ahead of us. He said the assessment team, together with representatives from the Securities Commission and the Insurance Commission and other key stakeholders, engaged in meaningful dialogue regarding the country's implementation of the standard for the automatic exchange of financial account information. He said the discussions focused on the implementation of an effective administrative compliance framework. Prime Minister Davis also says the financial services sector is booming and is expanding to untapped Asian markets. The country is set to play host to the first ever Bahamas Asia Forum in the next 2 weeks. The Prime Minister says the country is ready, able, and willing to set the highest standards for financial services and investment, saying that the results speak for themselves. Read more of these stories in today's Guardian business section. Overseas, China has agreed to purchase 25 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans annually as part of an agreement reached by its leaders. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is saying this today, saying that China will start by purchasing 12 million metric tons of soybeans from the U.S. between now and January. Bessent saying in an interview on Fox Business Network's this morning, saying that, quote, our great soybean farmers, who the Chinese use as political pawns, that's off the table, and they should prosper in that the agreement lasts for 3 years. Meanwhile, hot mic caught U.S. President Donald Trump saying that his much-anticipated meeting today with Chinese President Xi Jinping, meant to settle the most important trade relationship in the world, would be 3 or 4 hours, and that he would then fly back to Washington. But the meeting was actually much shorter, an hour and 40 minutes. And the president was on a plane before the 21-member Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Conference, or Summit, was set to begin on Thursday. The decision to skip APEC fits with what has been one of his key points traditionally used to address huge global problems, one-on-one diplomacy being his preferred means of dealing with issues. On social media, Trump celebrated his meeting with Xi in South Korea as a G2, a recognition of America and China's status as the world's 2 biggest economies, and a play on the multinational Group of 7 or Group of 20 forums. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday. Your market movers. Finco moving 500 shares, closing at $16, up 80 cents. Consolidated Water down 27 cents, closing at $6.81. And Emira Incorporated down 10 cents, closing at $11.81. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,050.74, up 0.43. To Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And Duquesitine, thank you so much for being here again today. Really appreciate it. Getting lots of messages, lots of apologists or people making excuses for this man and the guns and the reasons he has the guns. And, well, that's great. That's just great. But please, let's stop asking these stupid questions about how the guns are getting in the country. As we said, the guns don't attach themselves to people's hands. People have to go out and seek them, actively get them. So you look right in the mirror to figure out why you want guns. But yeah, we could, if you're going to make excuses for people, stop asking that dumb question. That's all I have to say. But Duquesa, again, thank you. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Have a great one, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas. There the Athlete's Foot and BTC, games and more. John Bull Pine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Nassau, Bahamas.